Welcome back to TGK TV. This is your boy, your host, your friend, or your enemy, TGK. And I'm going to go over the hot topic of the week, which is Dak Prescott's contract. Dak Prescott and his contract has been the talk of the town, talk of the YouTube verse, talk of all the Cowboy YouTubers, talk of sports radio, everything in general. So I'm going to go in there and give my thoughts and perspectives on everybody else's thoughts and perspectives, and then give my 2 cents in between them, okay? Alright, so Dallas Cowboys YouTubers, right? We got, I went ahead and reviewed a lot of their videos. Everyone that had a Cowboys take, a Cowboys perspective on the Dak Prescott contract. I really I should take a little credit because I came out there with the Dak Prescott wants to get paid video. I have the USA video in there. I thought I was first, but it seemed like that's where it spiraled. I ain't gonna take the credit. I'm messing with y'all. But I went on there and I gave my opinion, and I try to go on there with a respectful way to approach it. But then suddenly everybody had videos on this, which it was gonna get some traction regardless because of what he said about Tom Brady and Giselle. So we got a lot of Dallas Cowboys YouTubers out there. You got Shango, you got E2 Blue, you got Mark Holmes, you got Space Cowboy 17, you got Quay Media, you got Bots Lombardi, you got Law Nation, and I'm sorry if anybody that missing out, the Cowboys X Factor. We got so many people out there. And I watch as many videos as I can and try to get their perspectives and their takes. Space Cowboy 17 says you pay Dak right now so you don't have to pay him more next year. And he left the asterisk there because he said you don't want to pay him more next year. Pay him now because it'll be cheaper now. That's the way he said it. He made it seem as if Dak Prescott has a good year. He said if he has a good year next year, then he's going to ask for 30 versus getting 20s, a 20 around in the mid-20s type of contract. My thing is, what led you to think that Dak Prescott doesn't already want 30 or think he deserves 30? Think about it. Like, for us to let him have another good season, he can't get no more than 30 anyway, or I don't know. We could probably get more. Breeze, I think, has over 30. And is Dak Prescott Breeze? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But Space Cowboy had a really well thought out thoughts, very eloquent in the way he described his take. So shout out to Space Cowboy. He was on Lombardi's video, and Lombardi kind of agreed with him too. He was like, Dak Prescott should get his money. You know, he's won this, he's won that. Everybody talks about Dak Prescott's stats, yada, yada, yada. So they were in agreement. Mark Holmes will tell you not to worry about the contract, but look at everybody else's contracts, and Dak should get this much because he's better than them. So Mark Holmes thinks that Dak Prescott should get paid too. And a lot of other YouTubers, they're all in sequence. E2 Blue believes Dak Prescott should get paid. Shout out to E2 Blue, shout out to Mark, shout out to Lombardi, shout out to Lon, shout out to everybody. Everybody is a Cowboys fan, man. We put the work in for a reason because we love the team. Now, I feel like I'm the only one that disagrees with all of them. I don't think Dak Prescott should get top caliber money with his mediocre talent. And I'm gonna get to that part too. I just wanted to share my thought early in the video so y'all don't think I'm about to say we should pay Dak Prescott a lot of money. Okay? We ain't gonna go there. So let me jump to Mark Holmes' perspective. He loves to compare quarterbacks and show you the differences between this quarterback and how they're ridiculed versus Dak Prescott and how he's ridiculed, or the lack thereof on the ladder. And he will tell us, and I would agree, that Tannehill does not deserve that kind of money. Flacco is not worth the money. Blake Bortles, Jameis Winston, all those guys are not worth the money. So because of that, he thinks that Dak Prescott should be around their range or even better. Those guys get a lot of money. Even Kirk Cousins getting 29. Do you think Dak Prescott should get 29 and 30? I don't think so. Just because someone gets it and they're not that great as far as their win record is concerned, doesn't mean just because you got 32 wins in 3 seasons you should get that kind of money. I'm going to get to that point as well. Just bear with me. We're going to get there. I'm trying to make sure we're on par. So Mark Holmes compared all the quarterbacks, and that's a thing. Let me touch on that. If we know that people have given bad contracts to so many bad quarterbacks, why would we do the same? And I'm not saying Dak Prescott is a bad quarterback. I'm just saying, let's not do the same mistakes that they have done and put themselves in a bind and pay top bill money to a mediocre, above average quarterback. Because Dak Prescott does not have the skill base that some of these quarterbacks that do make a lot of money has. Dak Prescott is not a great passer. Dak Prescott is not a great reader of defenses. Dak Prescott does not have great feet work or even mechanics or even being able to throw off the back foot. Dak Prescott doesn't have a lot of these things that these other quarterbacks do present. Dak Prescott can run, but he ain't faster than some of these quarterbacks. Dak Prescott could throw, but he ain't as accurate or can throw as deep. I hope you understand what I'm getting. You want to pay fair money for the talent, and don't get blinded by the wins. This is all I'm saying. Just because you got 32 wins doesn't mean you deserve $32 million a year. That is just my take. I've been told a lot that to win a Super Bowl, it is a team victory, not a quarterback victory. Okay, so if that's the case and we got 32 wins, they all should not just be credited to Dak Prescott. They should be credited to the team. And the team deserves to get paid and not just the quarterback. So, food for thought. Hope y'all let that marinate. I hear a lot that Dak Prescott has this it factor. This it factor that you cannot quantify, but it sounds good in argument because there's nothing else you can say. So I'm going to debunk this whole fact that Dak Prescott has this it factor. There is no it factor without an amazing team. He has an amazing team. You have a number one wide receiver that you traded a first round pick for. You had a number one the year before that you just let go. You had a Hall of Famer tight end. You had, or still have, a number one running back in the league. You have an elite defense that has the probably best point differential or allowed the least points. They didn't allow 30 points a game in any game until the final season against the Giants. Elite defense. You have all these things going for you. Then probably one of the best offensive line in the NFL right now. And Dak Prescott won all those games by himself. Dak Prescott's it factor won it. No, it is a team game, as everyone always loves to tell me. The it factor comes from basically the front office. I can't believe I'm about to give the front office some credit. The way they've drafted, the way they've scouted their talent, the way they've been able to develop them and know who is who and what is what. That's the it factor. Dak Prescott, if he has an it factor, is his leadership skills, his ability to stay composed in certain parts of his game, and grit, durability, things like that. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that he can improve on. And if anybody out there thinks that Dak Prescott is this great quarterback, a perfect quarterback, one that has no flaws, that deserves all the money, he is top tier caliber quarterback, you're out of your mind. You really are out of your mind. And you are sipping a lot of this Kool-Aid. And that sugar rush ain't going away and anytime soon because you're just drinking too much of it. So, let that one marinate on the it factor. Let that it factor kind of go. Now, when it comes to the cap salary and what the Cowboys have to utilize in their cap space, they got a lot of money this offseason. And a lot of us, I'm talking about not just me and any Dallas Cowboys YouTuber, anybody on the street, our knowledge as far as how the money is worked and the football teams is a lot better. Our knowledge base as far as the way this contracts works is a lot better these days. We're very knowledgeable when it comes to how the teams function as far as how they make or give out contracts. So let's not act as if we don't know. We know. And so because we know, let's be smart in how we basically articulate our words and how we want to talk about this contract that could potentially harm us in the long run, or it may pay dividends if we approach it the correct way. This is such a big moment in Dallas Cowboys history, and if you approach this with loose ends and just give out a contract just to give out a contract, then we're going to hurt in the long run. I think we need to be smart about this and approach this in a very creative way. And that's speaking to the front office, not to me or anybody out there. I'm just saying, we're all educated on the cap and how it works. A quick thing I want to throw out there, though. I had a comment about the name of Buck Richards. He showed me this contract list of all the quarterbacks, and he said, I think Andy Dalton is a good barometer as far as what Dak Prescott should get paid. So I went on there and looked at it, and I saw Andy Dalton make $16 million a year, and I was just like, whoa. Actually, Andy Dalton is actually better than some of these other quarterbacks that make more money than him. So I dug a little deeper. And I noticed that Andy Dalton's first 3 years are very comparable to Dak Prescott's first 3 years. Yes, Andy Dalton has way more passing touchdowns, whereas Dak Prescott has a lot more rushing touchdowns. So the number of total touchdowns is equal, but that passing touchdowns, which is very important to be able to throw the ball, is disparity right there. Yes, Andy Dalton has more interceptions than Dak Prescott, almost 20 more. However, Dak Prescott has a lot more, tons more fumbles in comparison to Andy Dalton, and even more fumbles lost in comparison to Andy Dalton. So these two players are very, very, very similar. If we're talking about wins, Andy Dalton had 30 wins in his first 3 years. Dak Prescott had 32. Andy Dalton makes $16 million a year. But y'all want to give Dak Prescott $30 million a year or over $25 million a year? I totally agree with what Buck Richards sent me in that comment. And even doing my own research, I couldn't agree more. I think $16 million is a great number to give to Dak Prescott in his early career. And if he could earn that second contract, then bang. At that point, he is deserved, and you can give him whatever he would request. But in those first 3 years, if we're talking about numbers and we're talking about wins, they're very comparable. The only thing you can't tell me is that Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton had the same core of players on their team, because hell no they didn't the first 3 years. Andy Dalton did way more with way less. Dak Prescott did okay with way more. You get what I'm saying? I think Andy Dalton at the time when his first 3 years were up, he presented more upside. He has more ability to throw the ball. I think he's more of a talent when it comes to throwing the ball as in comparison to Dak Prescott. So I hope you understand that point of view, because a lot of people love to say the wins, the rushing touchdowns, all this other stuff, which is all great. Not hating on it. The thing is, you have to be consistent in your argument. So if someone else is very similar to the T on the first 3 years with less talent on his team, yeah, he's only getting $16 million, then that's where the conversation needs to start. Not because Ryan Tannehill makes 26, Dak should make 28. Not because Kirk Cousins makes 29, Dak should get 30. Those teams made mistakes signing those players to that contract. Let's not make that mistake. Okay? And the reason I say a mistake, because if we pay Dak Prescott big time money, it is going to hurt the Dallas Cowboys in the long run. It really is. You pay Dak Prescott $30 million, and then it's going to look like what the Cowboys teams were when we gave Tony Romo that huge contract. Everything's going to be dependent on Tony Romo. And if you put that on Dak Prescott, everything's going to be dependent on Dak. You're going to lose all of these good players, all of these cornerstone players that's given Dak the ability to have these many wins because of the great team that surrounds him. And we're going to put it all on him. Dak Prescott is not the type of quarterback, not the talent of type of quarterback to be able to lead you to victory solely on his back consistently for a whole 16 games and win a full season. He is not that type of quarterback. He is a bus driving average quarterback, a little bit above average quarterback. Very safe with the ball, very consistent in the fourth because we're so inconsistently in the first 3 quarters. That's another thing. Let me touch on that real quick. Y'all say he is so clutch. He has 13 game-winning drives or whatever number it is. It's easy to be clutch when the first 3 quarters you ain't getting nothing. And then when your team keeps you in the game, and then it's time to go get one touchdown and you go and get it, yeah, it's easy to do. But if you're on top of your game all 3 quarters in the first 3 quarters of the game, that 4th quarter should be a blowout. I don't remember many blowouts that the Cowboys have had since they having Dak Prescott. The Jacksonville Jaguars is the only blowout that comes to my mind. I can't think of any other blowout that we've had where Dak Prescott asserted himself and just killed another defense, and we won easily. I think the Cincinnati Bengals from the first year was the other team that I think we blew out easily or quickly. So think about it from that perspective. I know y'all think he clutch and everything, but it's easy to be clutch when you ain't producing nothing in the first 3 quarters. Now this take right here might be the one that gets me banned off of YouTube. And I'm not the only one with this take. I'm not. You look close to Cowboys affiliates, and there's one person in particular that thinks the same. What if instead of having to pay Dak Prescott $25 to $30 million, if I were to tell you we get another talent that has more talent than Dak Prescott, a talent that can throw the ball, that has an arm and a talent, a rocket in this arm, can run fast as hell, can read defenses, immense talent. What if I told you we can actually trade Dak Prescott and get a 1st-round pick to be able to go pick up this player? What if I told you this player is basically better than Dak Prescott and would be best suited to take on the current team that we have probably further, become more of a weapon, showcase this team in a better fashion for a modern offense? What if I told you that? Would you be interested in potentially looking at this, or do you want to be conservative and not aggressive and stay with the program, so to speak? And this was just something I heard. I think a trade, if we were to trade Dak Prescott to get in the 1st round and a high 1st-round pick and draft Kyler Murray, that would be really interesting, because now, bear with me before you shut it off. Give me a chance to explain this. If you get Kyler Murray, you don't have to pay him $25 to $30 million. It's gonna be like a $5 million hit. And you can keep Zeke, you can keep all these other players, and you buy yourself 3 or 4 more years with a quarterback that has more upside. He has way more upside than Dak Prescott, a 1st-round talent type of quarterback. It's a thought. I know it'll never happen, because we are the Dallas Cowboys and we're scared of change. We're scared of aggression. We're scared of, pushing the envelope and trying new things. But I think it would be very interesting if we were to trade Dak Prescott and get Kyler Murray in here and see what he could do with this offense that we have, this great offensive line, all of this offensive talent, in this elite defense, and we still don't have to pay the quarterback position so much money where it affects the rest of our team. It's something to think about, food for thought. Don't let that one marinate, because it ain't gonna happen. But if it did, man, that would be crazy. So I hope you got something from this video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do y'all agree with Buck Richards and what he told about Andy Dalton? Do y'all agree with all the other YouTubers out there, like, Space Cowboy, Mark Holmes, E2 Blue, Law Nation, Vach Lombardi, all these guys? Do you agree with them as well? Let me know in the comments, man. I think this is going to be a very, very interesting offseason, and I hope I'm not alone in thinking that Dak Prescott shouldn't get top caliber money. It's been your boy TGK. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Bye.